Quantum jumping is the art of manifesting change. Change so drastic that if you were to look into the past condition or past state of being, you would not even think that that change is possible. Because quantum jumping implies that non-linear progression is possible, and that you can look at any past state of being and completely transcend it, which is something that quantum physics itself posits. The reason why it's so interesting to look at quantum physics as an example of what we as human beings can do with our consciousness is that quantum mechanics is a metaphor for what our own mind can do when it comes to changing states of consciousness. In the spooky quantum world, particles have some very unexplainable behavior. Quantum superposition implies that quantum states can exist simultaneously, meaning you could have a particle behave in different ways at the same time depending on how you choose to measure a system. This was really well evidenced through the double slit experiment, which proved that wave-particle duality is present in all of reality. A particle can behave as either a wave or an actual physical particle of light when it is recorded as such. In other words, an observer effect is what actually orchestrates the quantum mechanics at play. When you choose to visualize a particle as a fixed position, as a particle in a certain place, traveling to a fixed location, it actually behaves as a particle. However, when not observed, it behaves as a wave. This spooky nature of quantum physics implies that all of reality exists in this fluid state of being. When not observed, reality may be completely unreal altogether. And the only thing that makes things real is when we choose to observe these things, when we choose to assume that reality can be fixed based on our own conscious awareness. And that is what actually creates fixed reality as we know it. When it comes to the individual, to quantum jump is to choose to teleport your consciousness into a new state of being, a new domain in which you feel and experience reality in a new way. This could be applied to any aspect of your life. You can radically transform your health, your state of well-being, your relationships, your abundance, and any other aspect of your life when you choose to apply this method of quantum jumping to change your perspective and relationship to reality at large. To begin doing this, you need to first realize that your relationship with yourself is what has to change. Because in order for quantum mechanics to operate in this way, there has to be certainty in a certain outcome. There needs to be a belief, or that fixed observation which lends itself to the quantum mechanics at play. In terms of our own psyche, the separation between the unknown and the known is the split between the subconscious and the conscious minds. So when we are making an observation in reality, there's a state of alignment, subconsciously and consciously, because what we see is what we know to be true. There's an acceptance of the nature of the reality around us, and that is what makes us realize that reality is fixed in our own lens of perspective. However, if we want to change our state of being, we need to change our consciousness, and the way that we do that is we need to introduce new beliefs, new expectations, that possibility that reality can be differently when we choose to change our perspective of it. So in essence, changing our state of consciousness is like changing the quantum state of a system. It's changing the possibility that we can operate in tandem with a new reality by changing our perspective of it. And in order to do this, we need to let in whatever possibility we want to see manifested in our world. Now, it's not enough to just think that it's possible, which is why many people who practice affirmations, positive thinking, and set intentions to have things change in their world don't actually see those changes. The law of attraction comes with its own negative implications, which is the realization that it's not enough to just want change to happen. It's not enough to just think that positive things are going to enter your world, because there can be a dissonance between the subconscious programming and your conscious mind's desires. And that's when that expectation doesn't actually pass through the subconscious layer and allow the expectation to be permeated into your world. I see reality as an entire mirror of consciousness, meaning what we come to observe is actually a reflection of our subconscious mind's contents. So if we want to change what is actually occurring in the world around us, we need to change how we perceive reality, which means we have to change how we perceive ourselves. And to do this, we need to think about what are we actually holding within us? What is our subconscious mind containing in terms of its fixed beliefs, its programs, its desires, its expectations, its opinions about itself, and about the world around it. Because everything that we subconsciously know to be true is going to be proven to us through the representation of everything that appears to be fixed in our lives. It can be difficult to change our beliefs about reality because we feel like reality is the thing that is constantly confirming our beliefs. So this is somewhat of a catch-22 situation. You can look to your reality to find changes, or you can start changing the way that you experience reality internally in order to change the world around you. And first, the changes are going to be subtle. You may start to experience the same things in a slightly different way. Maybe start observing new things and start seeing that reality truly can be experienced differently when you choose to feel differently and tap into a different perspective that allows you to observe the same world in a more positive light. But when it comes to manifesting more serious changes, you need to see that that change you're looking to manifest exists already within you. There's something either blocking or aligning with that change within your own soul. And think about what in your mind is either allowing that change to happen or not. This is where we can get to the heart of manifestation. In order to quantum jump into a new reality, we quite literally need to quantum jump into a new version of ourselves. We need to understand that we, as a conscious observer of reality, have the power to observe reality differently, which means we have the power to let in the possibilities that will permeate our subconscious and allow us to become a new individual, doing new things, feeling new things, and aligning with a completely new observation of the world around us. It's important to consider what energetic state you're in, what frequency you're housing, and how that is actually aligned with everything that you're experiencing in the world around you. If you want to experience more abundance, joy, peace, and harmony, you must choose to create that inner environment for yourself, quite literally changing the state of being within you in order to align with a different view. The world around you is a fluid representation of what you're choosing to experience internally. So if you're constantly seeing external chaos, you're most likely still battling a chaotic element within your own self. Think about why that is. Why you feel so drawn to things you wish to change in the world around you instead of finding the reason that you really want to manifest changes from within. As soon as you choose to harmonize from within, you're going to respond differently to the world around you, opening up a whole new portal of possibility in terms of new opportunities, new people to interact with, and new things that you can be doing in order to stay on this aligned bandwidth of your own consciousness that you want to be on. Now let's think big. Change and evolution is a constant of life. The universe is always growing and expanding, just like the planet is always undergoing change, evolutionary cycles, new patterns, and shifts which reflect the changes in the collective consciousness. Change is always occurring, just like energy is always moving and is part of a fluid cycle of reality. However, we may sometimes stagnate because we don't choose to let in this energy of change and to allow flow to orchestrate the movement of our life. As an individual, we always have a choice. We can choose to evolve and to expand our consciousness or not to. We can choose to maintain our lives on the timeline that we've chosen. We can choose to be the same fixed, stubborn individuals locked up in our ego and choosing not to represent ourselves in new ways. However, there is another way to approach reality. We can choose to always evolve, always expand our consciousness, always seek to learn more and to step outside of our comfort zones in order to truly tap into the potential of our soul. The key to quantum jumping into the ultimate experience of reality in which you are authentic, you are loving, you are happy, you are abundant, and you have everything that truly makes you feel whole as an individual is you choose to quantum jump into a state of alignment with your own soul. This sense of integrity between your egoic identity and your soul is the ultimate goal for us as human beings, in my humble opinion. The desire to quantum jump is indicative of the need to mend the discontinuity between ourselves and our souls, to learn to heal by looking within and understanding why the cause for healing exists. Our consciousness is organized in different layers. There is an etheric, metaphysical layer which holds the mental body of consciousness and the subtle energetic layers which represent the core elements of self, the transcendental soul essence which actually holds who we are, not as a persona, but as a living soul. When we come into alignment with that aspect of ourself, we find the ability to reason creatively and to move into a more transient state of consciousness by approaching life in a fluid way. In this state of consciousness, we are less attached to our ego and more in alignment with life itself. If we want a quantum shift into this reality of alignment, we have to look into the parts of us which are blockading our alignment in life. For example, if you're seeking abundance, you must look for the parts of you that are still blocking the idea of abundance completely. It may be something from your past which you must shed light on in order to actualize what your shadow is teaching you about your potential. Everything that we must shed light on is some hidden message that our soul has chosen to manifest through difficult circumstances which are revealing of the need for growth. If there's a need to heal, we must understand what is our body saying to us through the message of our pain, through the discomfort that we may feel and want to run away from, but that is truly teaching us to be a listener to the signals of our body and our mind. In order to manifest change and to quantum jump into the reality that you want to experience, you must fully believe that you are capable of being in this new envisioned state of reality. You must believe wholeheartedly that you can be whole, and that you can transition from a broken aspect of yourself by realizing that as a soul, you are whole and you are ready to teleport into this complete state of being. You are ready to become one with your higher self, to listen to its cues and to know that you are capable of absolutely anything. This letting in of potential about you is the secret ingredient to healing, to understanding yourself, and to manifesting what you wish, not by trying to externally attract that change, but by truly alchemizing your brokenness into the gold that allows you to shine as a soul. You can relieve yourself of all pain, suffering, and struggle by choosing to see that only your attachment to your past, to your trauma, and to every conviction about yourself is what keeps you stuck in the past. There is not a linear connection between who you were in the past and who you will be in the future. It's just out of fear that we choose to not quantum jump into a new reality because we think that the past is inevitably going to create the future. In truth, nothing is holding you to your past ways or your past self. Your soul is encouraging your growth, and you're constantly receiving new input which encourages you to align with the person you wish to become, with this true essence of you, which is hiding beneath all the layers of your fears, insecurities, and shadows from the past which are discouraging you from becoming who you truly want to be. Allow yourself to rise by realizing that nothing is holding you back. You are quite literally existent in different states of being. To quantum jump, you must decide that you no longer wish to fuel the past version of yourself. You want to leave behind this version of you that is not actualized, that doesn't feel whole. You must decide that enough is enough. You are not your trauma, you are not your limiting thoughts, and you are in truth everything that you choose to believe about yourself and reality at large. So choose to become a limitless expression of your potential. Choose to become free, to become happy, to become abundant, and actually believe that you can experience these states of being. Your subconscious must be aligned with it in order to heal this discontinuity between your bodies of consciousness. Realize that you are consciousness, observing yourself, having a human experience. So you are exactly what you want yourself to be. You are exactly what you choose to focus on. You are exactly what your energy embodies and what you decide to write into the script of your life. That is what nobody else can do for you. And if you've chosen to embody a script that is not suitable for the narrative that you wish to have played out in your future, then change the storyline. Change the depiction of yourself by choosing to feel that you are not all that you think that you are. Choose to become real, whole, and purely embodied in your own soul's truth. And if you do so, you'll find that you can quantum jump into any version of reality that you see fit for yourself.